Que de choses à dire lorsqu'on s'intéresse à un sujet tel que le Brexit. Aujourd'hui, on regarde de plus près la frontière entre Irlande du Nord et République d'Irlande. Pourquoi la question irlandaise est-elle si importante dans les débats? Quels enjeux majeurs cela soulève-t-il? Pour répondre à ces questions, nous rencontrons Sophie Murphy Byrne, irlandaise originaire de Dublin. Elle a travaillé pendant 5 mois au Parlement Européen sur la question du Brexit et aujourd'hui, elle étudie à Bruxelles en études européennes.
I think that studying the EU at this time of constant crisis for the EU is one of the most important things for the youth of Europe to be doing. I think it's important that we're informed. I think that it's one of the, studying the EU is something that's going to help to tackle the low voter turnout, particularly among the youth in European Parliament elections, and I think it's just going to help people understand the politics of their everyday lives and what's actually being done for them at the supranational level. Historically speaking, the issue of the Irish border is so pertinent today because it was in the north was the most successful of the British settlements as they took over the island of Ireland a few hundred years ago. Today, the issue of the Irish border is at the forefront of the Brexit debate because there is in place since 1997, so 21 years now, the Good Friday Agreement, which ended hostilities between loyalists or unionists in the north and Catholics or Republicans in the south. And in order for these two civilizations to exist on either side of the border, technically being two different countries, the idea was that there was always going to be an invisible border on the island of Ireland. It was the only way that peace could be kept. I mean, you have to remember that there are circumstances with this invisible border in the last 21 years whereby you might work technically in Northern Ireland, but your children go to school in the Republic. Or maybe the route that you take home every night, winds between the two. Like, it very much is an invisible border. It is very much something that is the reason that maintains the peace on this island. And it is hugely important that this stays the status quo, and of course this is exactly what Brexit undermines. It's very much a concern. I mean, the backstop solution, which has legally been put in place so that even if Britain does crash out of the EU in March 2019 without a deal, there is this legal solution whereby Northern Ireland remains a separate entity, that it is kept in the customs union. And again, this all comes down to the same concept of keeping that border invisible and making sure that there's no economic checks on goods going between the two islands and that freedom of movement, etc. is upkept. So effectively it's trying to ensure the status quo, but do I think that tensions will erupt again if no other solution is found? I absolutely do. And it's not just a case of, okay, we have this legal backstop, now nothing's wrong, everything is solved, because Britain is not happy, the UK government are not happy with this backstop at all, because it means that Northern Ireland is treated differently. As a province of the UK, it is treated differently to the rest of the UK. And equally the government, well, or lack thereof, but one of the main party in Northern Ireland, the Democratic Unionist Party, who prop up Theresa May's government in the UK, in Westminster I should say, they are also very much opposed to the backstop solution, again purely because it means that Northern Ireland is treated separately. So with all of these tensions and with so many people that you need to please throughout these negotiations, yes, I 100% think that there are tensions that are simmering on the surface and that they could be triggered again. I have no idea how this is going to go. I mean, I don't know what will be happening in March. I don't know what's going to happen with Theresa May's deal. We really don't know. There's too much uncertainty. For now, I think we can safely assume that the legal backstop solution of keeping the invisible border will exist at least until the end of the withdrawal period. So we can assume the status quo on the island of Ireland will continue at least until December 2020. Beyond that, it's anyone's guess what's going to happen.